All right, boys and girls, happy Wizard Wednesday. I have my lovely assistant,
Good morning.
Mr. Mazur. So we're going to do a fabulous science experiment for you today, but we're going to go also through the scientific method. And we've done this, boys and girls, where we take it step by step. So the first thing when you're about to do a science experiment is you need to first observe and ask a question. So, Mr. Mazur, what is our question for today?
Our question today is going to be how vegetable oil and water mix together.
All right, and after we do that, what else are we going to do?
We're going to go ahead and we're going to let the oil and water settle, and then we're going to add some Alka-Seltzer tablets and a little bit of food coloring.
All right, so our question, we have that. The next thing we need to do is form a hypothesis. And Mr. Mazur, what is a hypothesis?
A hypothesis is an educated prediction of what's going to happen when we mix all of these things together.
So we need to think what's going to happen. So I want to hear your hypothesis of what you think when we mix the oil and the water and we stick an Alka-Seltzer tablet in it. So we're listening. Let's hear those hypotheses. Ooh.
That's a good idea.
Like that one. All right. Great job, boys and girls. After we get a hypothesis, we need to plan the experiment. So, Mr. Mazur, can you tell everybody, what are we going to do?
So we're going to start off with a 1 liter bottle, and we are going to fill that up about a quarter to a third full. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of vegetable oil, and we're going to carefully pour it. Using a funnel is a good idea, but we're going to carefully pour it all the way into the water bottle. And then next, we are going to let that settle. And just because of time, we're going to bring in this bottle right here. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drop an Alka-Seltzer tablet, one step ahead. We're going to use my favorite color, blue, and we're going to add that to the oil and water.
Okay, so go ahead, Mr. Mazur, and do that experiment. So boys and girls, observe what is happening.
Let's do 5 drops.
Count with them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't count very well.
6 it is. Now, observe right now what is happening to the food coloring. The water's down here, and the vegetable oil is up here.
Let's bring you a little closer.
Can you see what's happening? Is it mixing with the vegetable oil? No, it's mixing with the water. Why is that, Mr. Mazur?
That is because the water is more dense than the vegetable oil, and the food coloring is also more dense than the vegetable oil.
And more dense means it's heavier. So that's why the water is on the bottom and the oil is on the top. The water is heavier than the oil. All right, so what's our next step?
Our next step is we're going to take 2 tablets of Alka-Seltzer, and we are going to break those in half. And we are going to drop those into our bottle to see what happens. See if our hypothesis is correct.
Okay, observe, boys and girls. What do you notice that's happening?
It looks like
What is happening, Mr. Mazur?
lots of bubbles are forming, and it's taking gas to the top.
Huh. So the last step in our scientific process is we need to draw a conclusion. So let's look what is happening right now. Alka-Seltzer is when mommies and daddies aren't feeling well in their tummy, it helps it settle. So what's happened is when we put the Alka-Seltzer down in the bottom, it creates a gas. And you see those little bubbles? The gas takes that, and we know it will help it float, those bubbles, and it floats to the top, but then pop! It pops the gas, and then the water is heavier, and it whoop, comes back down and starts it all over again. The gas bubble from the Alka-Seltzer tablet goes up to the top, pop, and then the water falls back down. So, boys and girls, awesome job today. I want you to rate our science experiment. 5 being awesome, 1 being wasn't my favorite, and that's okay. Happy Wizard Wednesday, boys and girls.
Happy Wizard Wednesday.